Wow, it's beautiful outside today. I think I'm gonna go get my kayak loaded up and I'm gonna go see if I can't get some fish. Come along. All right, so here we are. We just pulled up. This is the first place that I ever took the kayak, but I didn't catch anything, and I didn't give up on my conviction just because I saw a mondo bass swim by me. So today I'm gonna try this little topwater mouse lure because we went and did some of that in Branson and it was awesome, and a rooster tail. So we're just gonna get this unloaded and we're gonna get it down there. I'm probably gonna put it down this time. I dropped it over this bank last time. It was way too steep, kind of slippery, almost fell in, not a good time. So we're gonna take this and we're gonna get unloaded and drop it down under that bridge. I haven't really found a good access spot yet, so I'm just gonna go drop it off the side of this embankment. I've already noticed that I needed a rope, so I'm using my zip tie. A lot of the things are secure as I can make them, but I mean, it's not too bad to drag. I just got to make sure it don't push me all the way down to the water. But as for getting set up, not too bad. Hopefully if I start going along here, I can find a little bit better place for access, because the place I was going to put in was actually like a walking path, like a little like bike trail, so I couldn't drive on that and put in anyways. And then another spot I scouted out, it was like a 10-foot bank drop off down into it, so that wasn't going to work either. So this is what I found. I'm going to slide this in here and hopefully it all works. You can see people already been fishing down here. There's fishing line hanging from the tree. I've seen a couple fish pop up over there, so all we got to do is get this thing in the water. Let's see how this goes. So here's how we're going to do this. I'm going to slowly slide this. I got my bag kind of holding everything down. It's pretty heavy. I got a couple of waters in there. So I'm going to slowly, I hope that lid is actually not on. So good catch before I did that. Dumped this thing off and it would have been no good. We'd have been chasing it. We'll just put it right there for right now. Let's slowly kick this off back here. Yeah, so I can already tell that I'm going to need some rope. Now, maybe if I hit this at not a straight angle, it won't pencil itself down in there. So let's go down here a little ways. I don't necessarily care if I get wet. Oh yeah, there it is. I might just leave this on here because that might be how I have to pull it back up. But for right now, hey, look, it floats. This thing started to pop and give out. It's okay, the water don't feel too bad. This is a very nice and sturdy kayak, though, I will say. Like, it's in the water, so I'm going to go ahead and tighten it. No way you're going to believe what I just found. I lost my cap and I've been looking everywhere at home for it. This is where I lost it last time when I pulled my kayak out of here. No way I found that. No way. No way. Somebody's smiling down on us today. All right, there you have it. We're mobile. This place is a little bit easier to put down. I just kind of slid the yak backwards there and just lowered it down in here. And then I just pulled it right next to this log, the beach, and then get onto it. A lot easier than dropping off the side of a bank. Let's get after it. Quick little battery swap. Now you guys get to see all this in action. So I did just make a video about how I made this box to wire up my Garmin, and check that out. We've got a depth of about 5'7". This is all I really wanted, was just to kind of know how deep it was. The water temp 60 degrees, that's pretty good. Only one thing left to do is go fishing, so let's get after it. I don't know if you can see it right there, but there's a huge carp right there. Not a carp, suckerfish, northern hognose sucker. I saw a huge bass in here. I've seen like 4 or 5 bass. The problem is I think I'm right on top of their nest ball here, so they're kind of panicked. They're not gonna bite because I got them scared. But we switched to a white rooster tail, and I have a jig that I'm gonna try to hop around through there. Yeah, look, there's a bass that just darted off right there. Yeah, look. I don't know if you can see him. Right there at the end of my paddle. Look at him. I will find a way to catch you, mister. There's another 2, 3, 4 of them over there. I bet you that white rooster tail is gonna get them popping. You see him just hanging out right there on the tree limb? Yeah, I just barely moved and they kind of getting jumpy. He's right there though. He's almost right underneath me. He's coming up to look at the kayak. Oh, no way, that's so cool. Yeah, there's that big old northern hognose sucker right there. This seems like a hot spot. I just gotta stop filming and stop filming and start throwing my lures out, huh? I was told to stay away. He's darting around it. Oh, that's so cool. Oh, that was cool. I don't know if you can see it, but there's 4 of them. Whoa, that's so cool. Look, they're coming right at me. They all just turned off at the same time. That's so cool. I know that they ate pink worm. We've caught a couple of them on the pink worm down in Branson. Look at that. They all just scattered. Look at them. Oh my God, there's a nest of somethings back here. There's so many fish back here. What are these? Are they northern hognose suckers? Finally did it. I got a fish on. There's a whole school of bass right here. Oh man, yes, let's go. That's my first fish in the kayak. I knew somebody would smoke this white rooster tail. To change who I used to be. I've been over here just jamming, cruising around, enjoying this awesome sunlight. I finally did it. Check that out. Man, I'm so proud of myself. Let's send this to Brian. There you go. I threw it really shallow and just started fast retrieving it back, and sure enough, that's all it took. And this was a buzzer beater one for sure. I was just kind of out having some fun, cruising my kayak around, and I didn't even realize that I wasn't paying attention to the time. So after I caught that fish and I sent the picture to Brian, I'm like, oh snap, I gotta go pick my daughter up from school. So I mean, I cut it so close. I think I was like 3 minutes before they closed. That was me come home, drop the kayak, hurry up, take a shower, and then beat it out to go pick her up. So, I mean, it was so close. It was straight buzzer beater. I think the craziest thing is how I found my lid to my kayak. It'd probably been like 3 weeks since I went to that spot originally, and then the weather, and then my schedule got busy. But I can't believe I went back and found it. That's like a 1 in a million occurrence, really. I mean, I doubt anybody else puts in there, but I mean, the wind or rain or something could have pushed it away or hit it, or that's just insane, unreal to be able to find it again. But in the beginning, you can kind of see when I was tinkering with the Garmin, the battery I had died. I could have just bought the battery charger, but there's no fun in that.
So that's again why I built the battery case. I'm going to link the video to that, the waterproof battery that I built. I'm going to link that down below. But this is the first video where it has came where I've actually used it. So I like it when things come together. That's the best part of having things. And I have 3 tips for you right now. My biggest tip that I would have, my first tip, the first one that came to mind while rewatching this video was don't take a push button Zebco. I kind of Frankensteined a pull together. I had a nice Zebco 33 reel, had an old reel, put it all together, and I made a custom handle for it, so I just want to take it out and go fishing with it. But I didn't know, I put it in the back of my kayak and was kind of just trolling like a little spin bait as I was kayaking around. Well, 2 or 3 times, man, I went to go grab that pole, and I mean, it almost pulled the whole line out. Because every time it'd slide down into that holder, it would trip the push button, and it would just wee, just like take all my line out. Terrible time. I had such a terrible time with that. I say 2 or 3 times, but it was probably like 5 or 6. I was at the point to where I was just gonna, I don't know, just cut it off and just throw it back there because I was tired of every time I turned around, it would be 200-300 foot behind me. It's just terrible. The second tip I would always have something to cover your legs, whether it's pants, like you can see I had my hoodie over my legs. It got very apparent really quick that how pasty my legs are with the sun. It wasn't like 3 minutes I was into this and my legs were just like tingling, and I'm like, this is gonna be a very bad time if I don't get something to cover my legs. So my third tip for wrapping up the whole video is always wear your PPE. PPE is very important everywhere, whatever you do. If you're working with your hands, whether it's your eyes, those are your 2 most valuable assets. So you don't want your hands and fingers burnt, and you don't want stuff flying in your eyes. Like the slowdown when my cutting disc exploded, I know that they're prone to do that because I've been in that field for a long time and I just kind of know what to expect. But I mean, they get real brittle and they spin like 6,000 RPMs, and if it hits a snag, they just disintegrate. And I mean, it's poof, like it poofed in my face, like sitting there cutting on the side. So I'm really glad I had my eye protection on. I had something to cover my hands. So always wear your PPE. And the later part of this video is going to be me showing you actually how I built my fishing truck. There's been a lot of stuff that goes into it to get it to this point, and I took videos along the way just so I can put them in a video to show you guys what it all entailed. I mean, it was a lot. I'm not going to lie. I mean, it was a lot of work, a lot of prep, but my fishing truck it's awesome. So everything I've wanted to do to it, I finally got it done, and now the only thing left is get some kayaks, get it out on the water, and I mean, just let this 30-year-old truck have a lot more life left in it. So that's my whole goal. So, and I also didn't realize that my GoPro died when I was in the middle of welding all those little pub pieces on for my rods to slide through. I had my hood down. I didn't even know the GoPro died. So, well, we got like 1 tack before. Just imagine that, but like 12 more times.
Well, here's the top part of the rack coming together. It's so big, I don't know if I can do it in my garage. I'm scared that if I start to do it in my garage, I won't be able to get it out of the garage. This rack looks bigger than the Ranger somehow.
So now that I went ahead and ground these, they're going to be a little rough, stuff like that. I cut the notches off of it, but there's a little bit, it's called a burr. I don't know if you can see it, but it is the really sharp edges after you cut it. I ground them and refaced them, and now I'm just going to take a file and just knock that burr out of there. On all of these, I don't want them cutting my fingers, I don't want them ripping on my fishing poles. Just keep going around until it doesn't catch on nothing. You can feel it like, ooh, yeah. So I'm gonna keep doing that for all of these. And then I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna do, so stay around. We also try to be as safe as we can with some leather arm protectors. I had some good leather gloves on. At least something to cover the legs. 60-10 is not really the best bet to have sweatpants on, but I did switch out my shoes for boots, and I have my beanie inside just in case to keep sparks off my ears and neck and the back. You got to use your PPE when it's available. Here's my gloves. Now it's time to start cleaning all this stuff up. So here's something you guys probably don't know about me. Before I changed professions, I was actually a combo welder and a millwright before I ended my trade. My leather is a little messed up here, but yeah, so back before any of this took place, I used to travel around a lot, and I've been to like 12 different states doing a lot of shutdown work and a lot of stuff like that. So I was very skilled, but I also haven't done it for a lot of years, but I know that I'm good enough to do this. So I want to make some rod holders for my kayak trips to where my rods don't get smashed, and I think it's just going to be easy enough to just level these and then I'll just shoot them straight in here. So let's see how this goes. I just ended up hooking this on one of the carbon nuts. Usually it's enough to ground out the whole system, but without me scratching a spot, I have to use 60-10, which is like a root rod, and it's very explosive on the tack, so it's usually enough to blast through anything like rust, paint, and stuff. So we'll just give her a little test and see. Alright, so all my GoPro batteries died, but I finally got these little pup pieces welded on up here, and this was my whole vision for them anyways. Just so I can have a place to slide my rods to where if the kayaks are on top, they're not going to get busted. We still have all this space for whatever we need it for. But I'm really proud of my Harbor Freight welder. I haven't used it in a while, but it was having a hard time burning that 8-inch rod, so I had that thing almost cranked up to 200. There, I had one blow through, but that's to be expected. I don't know if it's because it has like a 15-minute duty cycle. It says right here. It's got a 15% duty cycle, and then when it's on the 120, but then I got it strung to 2 outlets over here, and it just kept kicking off. But yeah, not too bad. I just want to thank you guys for sticking around this long, watching my project come together, and that's all I have for you guys. So if you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, tell your friends. If you learned something cool, go tell somebody you learned something cool. So that's all I have. So remember, fish after me. I can't even hold it. He's big.